music. Music is the heart and soul of the Hawaiian.
Lili'u is primarily known as the last sovereign of Hawaii. But I think it's important to remember that she saw herself as a creative person, a hakumele who happened to become queen.
O Makalapua
In the Lili'u Project, we wanted to allow for creativity within the ensemble and in how we approached her compositions, because that's what she was doing.
She was very innovative, but also realized that as the world changed, people had to change. So I think her music kind of is representative of all of that.
In her time, she was really using very, very modern instruments that were just being introduced in Hawaii.
Her music will be a series of windows that when you peek through them, you see her world. This is the music of Lili'u. This is the poetry of Lili'u. This is the embodiment of an entire life.
The music was new, it was innovative, it took aspects of tradition and melded them with the new things that were happening. While she was imprisoned, and of course the circumstances of the imprisonment are important to understand. For many years prior to even when she took the position of sovereign, annexationists, and especially American annexationists, were trying to basically take over political power.
There were guards stationed by day and night, whose duty it was to pace up and down the veranda. The sound of their never-ceasing footsteps as they tramped on their beat fell incessantly on my ears. I could not but be reminded that I was a prisoner. I found in my bag a small book of common prayer. It was a great comfort to me.
I think Lili'u was open to exploring, which is why the work of the Lili'u Project is so fascinating, because it's all about exploration.
In this case, what we tried to do is to use the talents of different people and see whether we could come to some sort of agreement on, yes, this is a way in which we can honor the composition but also to expand it.
Each person brings a very unique perspective to what we were trying to do, which is basically to learn songs of Liliʻuokalani and share them, and in so doing, learn a little bit about who she was as a musician, as an ali'i, as a person.
Gentle breeze, it waft my name.
To compose was as natural to me as to breathe. Even when I was denied the aid of any instrument, I could transcribe to paper the tones of my voice.
I think that's one of the powers for me of Lili'u Project, because Lili'u Project is saying this is an opportunity for us in this time to homage one of the most important composers of Hawaii.
Her vision of what she intended for our people to realize has now blossomed. We are the blossoms of what our queen planted through her life and her aloha.
Lili'u Loloku Walania Kamakaʻeha was born on September 2nd, 1838 in Honolulu on the hills of Pu'owaina and raised by her Hanai parents, Lara Konia and Abner Paki, alongside their daughter, Bernice.
When we say Hanai being adopted in this day and age, our 20th and 21st century, it has a different meaning than our Hawaiian ohana back in the day. We have Hanai, which may not necessarily be biological, but doesn't mean that they're not part of our ohana.
At the time of her birth, her aunt, Kina'u, had an ailment with her eyes. And so she was given what we call in Hawaiian the Inoa Ho'omana'o. Inoa meaning name and Ho'omana'o to remember. So she's given a commemorative name. And so Lili'u means that smarting in the eyes. And then her other name, Loloku, is like a welling up of tears in the eyes, a watering of the eyes because of that eye affliction. And Kamaka'eha literally means the hurting eyes. And so she's given these names as Inoa Ho'omana'o because of her aunt Kina'u.
Makalapua is the mele inoa, or name chant, that was written for Lili'u on the occasion of her birth.
Often given to keiki or infants when they're born. For usually it's people they're very close to that are significant in their lives.
You know, Makalapua was a song that was, I think, known by every Hawaiian. Whenever you got Hawaiians together at a luau, no matter where it was, Makalapua was one of the songs that everybody would join in and sing.
One of the amazing things about Hawaii is the poetic tradition. And it's from ancient times, it's on forward. It's the only place that I know in the world where kings and commoners were composers.
Lili'u was a fighter. She fought for her people, and she fought for her land.
She was an artist through and through. And when I talk about artists, I'm not just talking about one specific thing. I'm talking about a woman who accepted her creativity and understood it as a vehicle for her to not only cope, but to help others. Because she got to do that in her music. We're still singing her music today. And I dare say more so than ever.
It's really amazing to be in this time, and to have been surrounded with the music of the Queen Liliʻuokalani, because it gives you a beautiful perspective on who you are as a Hawaiian and who you strive to be, because she's a huge part of that. Queen Liliʻuokalani's music is extremely relevant because it connects us to that time. It connects us to our kupuna and the role that she played, the people that she touched. We feel it.
Her music affords us this opportunity to be really intimate with someone we probably could never really know. And I think that's a powerful thing. And that's what art does. That's what music does. That's what creativity does. It affords us this inroad to something we wouldn't have access to otherwise. And that's the power of Liliʻuokalani.
When the overthrow took place and the band was now going to be a part of the provisional government, no longer called the Royal Hawaiian Band, over half of the band left.
And the government under Sanford Dole and them required all government employees to sign an oath of loyalty to their government. And that oath of loyalty also said a promise not to try to reinstate the monarchy.
They're not only being asked to denounce their queen, their nation, their culture, they're being asked to, in effect, betray their families, right? Their wives, their children, their parents.
And Berger brings the oaths of allegiance for them to the concert and wants them to sign right there, and they won't sign it.
The band leader famously told them, if you don't sign this loyalty oath, you're going to be eating rocks.
And so they go away and they refuse to sign. They were passing by Ellen Kekua Liliʻuokalani Prendergast's home, and as they were passing by, she gave kahea them, like, and then she was with her guitar on the veranda and asked them what they were doing. They explained the situation.
And then she wrote the song called the Mele Ai Pohaku, or rock eating song, which the first line starts Kaulana Napua, Hawaii. So we know it as Kaulana Napua today. And the song says, we don't value the government's hill of money. We'll eat the rocks, the wondrous food of the land.
And what she created initially in the form of a chant was their mana'o, that they would rather eat stone than sign with this new nation.
Then they reformed themselves as the Bana Lahui Hawaii. So basically, you might translate that as a Hawaiian national band.
Kaulana Napua o Hawaii, Kupa'a mahope o Ka'aina, Hiki mai ka elele o ka loko'ino, Alapala anunu me ka paka. Fighting ships enter my harbor. Your army is standing by. No more war. I will surrender my kingdom to save the lives of my people. Please join us in your songbook. So good. It sounds so good.
It sounds really
Andrew.
cool.
Yeah.
I know we never had that experience before. Like I was just like to be in each other's ear like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because we usually
We don't play it
we
with
don't
headset.
record with headset. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, I don't need headset.
But that was like a whole thing, you guys.
It's because Andrew's the man. He's
Thank you, Andrew, for making this moment available to
You
us.
know, it's only going to give us what you put into them. Very beautiful. So gorgeous. Can you talk about that song?
Oh. Sure. This song entitled Makalapua, these lyrics were originally performed as an oli or a chant for Lili'u, for Liliʻuokalani, Queen Liliʻuokalani. And there's a melody that the general population sings that was not composed by her. Is actually a composition by an Italian composer named Carlo Bossetti. And it came from a song entitled Would I Were With Thee. It's such a curiosity that another melody from so far away would be assigned to a chant that was composed for on the occasion of her birth, to celebrate her coming into the world, basically. And it's got 4 verses, and it's beautiful poetry. And back in 2014, when we decided to do our first stage performance of Queen Liliʻuokalani's compositions, John Senior, my teacher, suggested that we start the show by offering an original melody to these lyrics, composed actually on a harp that that I have at home that I grew up practicing. And actually, it was quite a lesson. It was up until the day before performance. My poor director and teacher was. I stressed him out because I did not have this composition, and this was supposed to open the show. And Thursday morning, my friend called me and asked if I had gone. You know what? Now that I'm saying it out loud, I gotta go do that tomorrow. If I had gone to Mauna Ala, the Royal Mausoleum. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't. I literally didn't, ask permission yet. And so I had a friend who knew the caretaker of the mausoleum and took me down into the crypt. I sang the Queen's Prayer, and from there I went straight to the theater, sat down at my harp, which is already preset on stage. And this composition, this melody came out of that moment. And I think, so that's, since you asked me to talk about it, thank you for reminding me that I need to go and do that. Because here we are again. And it's been a beautiful process getting to here. So thank you for having us here today.
Thank you guys so much for coming. Rob, if you can, you guys know Rob already.
I know.
And he brought this project to record here, which I'm super thankful for. If you can kind of go around and talk, introduce the other folks here.
So this is the Lili'u Project. This is a band that I was had the pleasure of joining. I would say it's a band, right, John? It's a band. Yeah. So
a group of people that play music.
Yeah, that's what it is. Andrew.
Yeah, a group of people that jam together. But so closest to me is my good friend Hannibal Sosa, best guitarist that I know. Next to him is Star Kalahiki, our singer, very beautiful voice, and at last but not least, John Senior, who's all of our professors actually, which is so.
Used to
really
be.
No, you're still my professor. Yeah, favorite teacher on the planet.
Yeah.
Talk about what you do, John.
I teach music at Leeward Community College, and originally I was the piano teacher there. That's my instrument, or used to be. But now I really get to teach fun electives, and I teach a class that I really like called Music and World Cultures. It explores different perspectives of music on music. I teach beginning ukulele, beginning guitar, Hawaiian ensemble, fun classes like that. So these people over here, they're always jumping in to help save me. So anyway, that's what I do, and I'll add to what Rob shared is this ensemble. We're pretty much focused on exploring Queen Liliʻuokalani as a musician, as an artist, and so the bulk of the music we perform is either composed by her or for her. Yeah, so that's the focus of this particular group, and right now there's about 4 others who are not with us, but yeah, so this is the core, I would say, or has been for the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, we kind of went to some places.
Yeah, definitely. Would not have been possible.
Yeah, Queen Liliʻuokalani is like such a amazing figure. How many people that are royalty end up being like super amazing composers? So yeah, what can you guys say about her that sparked this project?
Look at me.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to hear Hannibal say something, actually.
I'm answering this question.
Well, just how does the music, how did it spark in you?
How does it relate to you?
Well, I didn't join this project until 2015, I think.
15, 16.
15, 16.
Oh, see, I was a little bit later then. I thought I was 15. I guess.
I was the music tutor at Leeward Community College, and I visited John's class, I'd cut a lot of class just to visit John's class. But yeah, you guys were doing Ku'upu'e Pauokalani, and you asked me to play guitar for you. That's how I don't want to say I invented this tuning, I probably never did, but I used this tuning specifically for that song, F major 9 tuning, F-A-C-G-A-E. And that's kind of how I joined this project. Yeah.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah, this tuning was specifically for that song.
I didn't know that story either.
You didn't know that story? That's a great story because I feel
Thank you,
like,
Honey
I
Ball.
mean, to answer your question, really, it's just kind of how she permeates, right, in teaching through her compositions. Like I mean, what I say is this is an investigation of her as an artist, but also it's a healing journey because I have no doubt that intention was injected into her compositions. The teaching and the healing. I love that story. That's great because that really sets up the song. And that's another, like, that's the core of what it is this ensemble does. It investigates. And that's, and that word kind of opens up into a whole universe of possibilities. Yeah.
Because she was always trying to, like, what's new, what's exciting. And so she was always trying to really, like, go after, like, oh, what can I do? And so when she started playing piano, it was like, it was a Western thing. And so she was just like, well, I want to start working on that with, like, writing my own stuff on the piano and, you know, so.
Well, first, the thing to note, too, is that she and the other royals were trained in, I guess, Western fundamentals. That's actually the first class I took from you.
Was it?
Fundamentals.
I guess I used to teach that.
It's so funny because we did stuff like bow strings and played like crystal goblets.
Don't tell.
Yeah.
No, that was magical, right? But technically it was fundamentals.
What? I want to take that class.
The thing about her too that fascinates me is you're right. She was involved in a new technology, which is the piano, the guitar, the organ. She was a multi-instrumentalist. She was an alto. As a young woman, her job was a choral conductor and organist at Ka Waihona Church. And she started writing very young, and she's the first Hawaiian to publish her music and to copyright. So this idea of really being a progressive artist in her time, she was. And so I always think if she was alive and writing today, she'd be really interested in...
she'd be bowing and playing crystal goblets.
She'd be a DJ. She'd be collaborating with artists in, all parts of the world. And I think she'd really be interested in how can I, she's at the vanguard of this group of Hawaiian composers who are really creating a new style of songwriting that I think we kind of take it for granted today. Like, oh, that's what contemporary Hawaiian music sounds like. Well, she's that first generation of Hawaiians who was, okay, what is this? What does that sound? I really like that music. I want to compose like that. And it wasn't until she was much older that the thought of being the sovereign even entered her life. She was she was just immersed in her music career. And we sort of forget that. So, she was writing songs in 1860 as a, 21, 22-year-old. So, and continued to do that throughout her life, actually. So that's our focus is on her as an artist. And amazing poet in Hawaiian and in English. Her skill at lyrics is quite amazing. So the stories that she's telling in her lyrics,
there's so many different layers.
Right. We get a little insight into what was she feeling, what was she thinking, who was this woman, and in her poetry, she's kind of
it's a different way of considering her, I think.
Yeah, it's and the investigation just keeps going. Like the more we play the music and get called to offer the music in the places that we have, has been so informative. And then, I don't know, it just keeps, the connection just keeps growing. I don't know how else to say. I guess that's just how resonance and healing moves, but it's no joke. And it's, even as we move in our lives, it's apparent how the vibration of music is so prominent and effective in our lives and the lives of our loved ones. And to have that reflection is to live in such deep gratitude. I don't know how else to say. But it's a legacy that we come from, of being of this place, too, of living of this place, of taking care of this place. I don't know. It's a very comprehensive feeling of aloha and gratitude that I am believing is the smartest, most logical spread of good vibes across the oceans and continents that we can offer from this hot spot in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And that poetry I was revisiting just this last week in the Queen's Jubilee that then Princess Liliʻuokalani composed for Queen Victoria on her Jubilee celebration. I don't know how many years that means, but a beautiful, beautiful poetic expression of we bring this aloha from across the oceans and across the continents. And like, I can't help but think that like my queen really gave everything she had for her people, you know.
And her songs were her way to communicate.
These songs, yes.
I heard something recently, something like an artist dies twice. Once is the last time they ever make something, and then the second time is the last time somebody ever plays their music or enjoys their art, you know?
Yeah.
So, you guys are carrying it.
Yeah, but it feels like, no, I'm so sorry. Her birthday this year felt like the most exciting celebration since I've been alive or in existence. It feels like there's I don't know what it was like to celebrate her birthday when she was alive, but there's a new thing happening now.
You have a real connection with her, I can tell.
Oh, and then I will claim that, thank you. And then I see so many other people though as well. Right. And it felt like this year there was all of this alignment and sharing of this celebration. Because it feels like, I may be wrong, but it feels like prior to COVID and the movement on Mauna Kea, that to remember our queen was brought back more feelings of struggle and not so much celebration. And so it feels like in this time we've worked through and released so much struggle so far that it feels like we're being given permission to truly celebrate now. And
that's good.
Yeah, I kind of feel honestly to like have watched the world, you know, celebrate the life of a Queen Elizabeth. I just like feel like one day the world will celebrate the birthday of our Lili'u like we are now. I just that it just really makes sense to me.
Yeah. She was, I mean, like John was saying, we kind of take it for granted what Hawaiian music is, but it wasn't always there, and these songs have been continue to have been played for over 100 years since, you know, she wrote them and more. So, yeah.
And of course,
she's
music,
affecting our lives now.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. And music as a language that can speak to us in ways that other maybe languages might not particularly reach those places. It allows her message, I think, to permeate in a certain way, and touch us in a certain way that maybe, you know, studying history is a particular way of learning about her, but entering her music is also another way of really exploring her, you know. So
her heart.
Yeah. I want to get you guys to play another song, but John, I want you to talk about the instrument you played on that first.
This is a traditional melodic wind instrument called Ohehano Ihu, so it's a Hawaiian bamboo nose flute. And you play it with the breath from your nostril. It's one of my favorite instruments. I love this instrument, and got my first one when I was 16 and been playing it ever since.
Yeah, you still got to take me up to the bamboo forest. We got to cut more.
That's a special one, though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How far back does that go?
Well, I don't know, but this is actually an instrument that existed before Western contact. So there are places in the South Pacific where you also find nose flutes. So in Polynesia, and probably a few other places, but I'm not an expert on that. But the thing that's special about this instrument and why we play it with our nostril is, you know, I can say mean things to you with my mouth, or I can be deceitful, but I can't do that with my nose. And this instrument was really used as an expression of love, an expression of appreciation. You play it for people who you really have good feeling for. So you use the nostril because the air is purer. So I love that idea about this flute too.
It is more healthy to breathe through your nostril, right?
That's I've heard that too.
And just now I'm taking my breath in now.
To connect the breath, you know, it forces you to breathe mindfully. And that also puts your whole head and heart in a different space. So it's a nice instrument to play if, you know, you need to chill out a little bit.
It makes everybody chill out, though, too.
So I do love this instrument. Yeah.
Love it.
I think my nephew is lifting weights downstairs. I'm gonna go ask him if he can.
Oh, is that what that?
Try to be
cool. That's good to know. I was just like, is there an operation in here?
But yeah, maybe you guys can decide on what you can play for the people.
Play Gentle Heartbeat, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honeyball, do your thing.
You guys, this is so fun to be in each other's ear.
That's nice, man. Yeah.
We didn't ever do this before.
It's cool. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
No, you
Right
thank
on.
Andrew. Like, this is all.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it here. I love it at the store, though. The store is my.
I didn't realize, like,
Store's my home.
wow, your worlds are good times. Why you
Yeah.
gotta go away, man? No, I'm not sorry. No. Never mind me.
Hopefully, I'll find a situation like this up there. Like maybe.
We'll fly you back every once in a while for
Yes,
a concert.
please.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. I would love that.
I'm like, I gotta get some boss lady skills and figure out all that production kind of thing, or figure out people to make it happen.
We'll let these two guys play a duet that they do. It's really nice.
An original composition.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of
Well,
Honeyball's work
Honeyball's
is in this upcoming concert. So
Sorry, I'm so quiet. Cameras freak me out. So.
Hey man, he actually answered something. He said something. I was like, yeah, Honeyball.
okay, next is singing.
This guy, he has yet to sing.
You know what? Corey used to be like that.
No, yeah.
Years ago.
So Corey's
I mean,
finally
Used
starting
to,
to
you
sing.
see.
It's like years of recording, and now he doesn't care.
And after the senior recital, it's a whole new Honeyball.
Do you want to talk about this piece?
Hold on, look.
Oh, yeah. Adjust.
Okay, so this piece I originally wrote on the ukulele. It requires a low G ukulele string. I wrote this in 2015. a lot happened in 2015. I was inspired by my little nieces running around the house, and this piece is pretty much about nostalgia. I posted this on Facebook in 2015 and then when Rob saw it, he really liked this piece.
I loved it, man. This is my favorite piece.
I taught him how to play it in France.
Yeah, so we were in the bedroom. It was the last day, and it was the hotel room. And I was like, bro, you gotta like give me a recording or like, you know, give me a little something. And so he played it in the bedroom. I have it on my phone still.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful, like, really, I don't know, like, when you got studio things and it's like, that's cool and all, but like, I have a personal recording. Like, and that's more special to me, I think.
Of the composer.
Exactly.
I taught you how to play it.
Yeah, and so he taught me how to play it because I wanted to learn this piece so badly. And he's like, you need a low G? And I was like, don't even ask me twice.
Yeah, you played low G ever since, right?
Ever since, yeah. Haven't put down low G. I've always played high G up until this point. Up until...
To that point.
To that point, yeah. 2015, 2016,
oh,
somewhere. 17?
That's when we went to France.
Ah, we're getting old.
You're telling me. But I think one summer, I think it was 2018, I was over at Rob's house and it was like...
Just jamming.
Yeah, let's make a duet. So we made a guitar ukulele duet of Gentle Heartbeat. And we just played this for my recital on Saturday.
Yeah. Hopefully it's still fresh.
Yeah, we haven't touched this ever since. Yeah, I mean...
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was 2 days ago.
Ever since 2 days ago.
Yeah. Ever since.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when I work on a piece for so long, when I don't touch it the next day, it's like I forget how to play it.
You know what's crazy though? Like,
he was real when he said we haven't touched it ever since 2 days.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, most people get sick of playing the same song over and over. I love it more and more. Like, you have no idea. Maybe you get sick of it, but it's something.
No, I love
it more and more, but I'm not
It's a
playing.
beautiful piece.
I love the hearing it more and more.
All right, yes, let's.
I mean, I love this piece, but like classical pieces, when I hear it over and over, I'm like, oh my god.
That's true.
It's different when it's original. That was a whole thing you offered us the other day. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to hear all that. But I love hearing Honey Ball's compositions over and over.
Yeah. Awesome. It's Gentle Heartbeat.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. last note.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. What?
He missed the harmonic.
Yeah. It's always scary.
So
Wow, we
beautiful.
played that a lot slower.
That's so beautiful.
Really cash.
That's what I need for my blood pressure.
Right? That's no joke, though. Wow, the medicine. The music medicine.
Yeah, the healing vibrations.
Yeah, this guy's got a bunch of originals, man. Like, blows me out of the water.
Yeah?
A few. Blows my mind.
Have you guys done recordings yet?
We keep saying, like, literally it might just pop up like next week or something, just
Yeah.
while we still have Rob in town.
Yeah.
We've attempted, but the answer would be no.
Sorry,
yet.
yes.
Yeah. Not yet.
So talk about the upcoming show that you're doing.
Well, upcoming, 16th is first full rehearsal. So we have 2 dates available for the public. I was like blanking out on that word. But it's the 24th and the 25th. I believe the 24th is a Saturday, and that's at 7:30. And then the 25th is a matinee at 3 in the afternoon. And so
September.
Yep, September. Yeah, coming up in this September. Yeah.
Leeward
So,
Community
At
College.
Leeward Community College.
And
Thanks
I'll
for-
put a link below for you
Oh,
guys.
Thank you so
Andrew.
much.
Yeah.
I was just going to be like, I should.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's. I only know so much of the info.
We're also
try to
doing
memorize.
a school show on Friday the 23rd in the morning. So through East West Center Arts Program, about 600 school students are coming to see a day show.
I know, it's going to be fun, I think.
It's so nice because like how old are they? Like
I think middle and
school?
high school. I think
See,
pretty much.
I was always like, I'm like so excited for a field trip, and now we are the field trip. It's so weird. Like, oh, you're coming. For what? Us? Okay, yeah. But it's so weird to be a actual field trip. Well,
It's gonna affect some kids. They're gonna learn something and be inspired.
And I'll add that this it's not really a concert. It's a we have an actor, we have a hula dancer. There are projections, light and set design. We're showcasing a mural, a 20-foot by 6-foot mural, Ku'uaina Aloha, beloved country, beloved land, is so there are different elements of art in this production. It's not just solely music, but
You're making art!
yeah, we're making
Hitting
art.
all the senses.
And first time Leeward is opening since the pandemic began, so the theater's been dark for quite some
And
time.
it was under renovation prior to the pandemic, so it's been dark for quite some time. She just needs some loving and some life, and it's so exciting to be in the space right now in preparation for this offering that we're giving on the 24th and the 25th. Like we're in it. We're in the creation. Today felt like a really good celebration of preparation for that.
Yeah.
And we feel home. That theater is our home.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
all of us have been a Leeward student at some point. Every single
musician in the ensemble.
So that's like our home, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to be playing there.
It's a huge deal to feel like you're coming back home.
Oh yeah.
Like even just right now watching them play and listening like this closely, it's just like, wow, we've watched them grow up.
Yeah.
We're grown ups, man.
Still look like boys to me.
They are still
we'll take that.
boys too, but still I'm like, wow. we've
Making some awesome music.
yeah,
Trying to.
Then locking in. I mean, you know, and in so many ways.
I had a hiccup. Not gonna lie.
I want to hear you guys all together
Oh.
again.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were gonna do.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So much.
Now this is one of the songs that she composed while she was imprisoned in Iolani Palace. Probably, like in my mind, I always hear George Helm. I mean, you know, I'll sing it, but in my mind I still hear George help. And I think it's just, right? The first time I played George for my mom, she didn't, I don't know, she didn't really know. And her response was like, they should play this in the hospitals. And I was like, Mom, wow, that's such a, yeah, that's a very honest response. But, so she would have composed this without any instrument, you know, with just a writing tool and paper. And I'm really grateful. I'm just going to speak on behalf of us all in the ensemble. We're so grateful to be students of Johnson Yor and
1000%.
The vibration of this, the legacy of the vessel of music that he is, and how he moves that through and into the world. This song has taken me to, you know, we've gone to France, we've gone to Washington D.C., we've gone to
Pasadena.
We were part of a sacred music festival in Pasadena, like right before the Mona movement, and like I remember sitting in 11 hours of sacred music vibration, going, something's gonna happen. I mean, and then I sang this song on the Alahulu Kupuna on the Mauna Kea Access Road, a half an hour after Governor Ige declared an emergency proclamation on us. And it was a magical moment because Auntie Vicky Holt Takamine was there. I was backed by the Lim family Ohana, and it was kind of just like, oh, Auntie, but I sing all 3 verses, which is not normal. But I mean, that's the story. So, and I think Auntie was just like, oh yes, yeah, let's do that. And it was just like really the beginning of a whole other level of learning. And so yeah, this song, if in Hawaiian the word for music is mele, and mele is technically a poetic expression of time and space, a poetic expression composed by our ancestors in their time, but in the same space. That definition is so profound, you know, and why mele is such an activation and a healing. Okay, so this is preceded by it's actually bookend by composition by Hannibal Sosa, entitled, does it have a title? Oh, never, okay, I don't want to say.
This is M?
This is M. He made a face, I know.
Are we ending?
I don't know. How are we ending?
Oh, let's
Jiminy
talk
Cricket.
about this.
Jiminy Cricket.
Because we're not doing it for the show.
We'll do that one.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Well, yes. Okay, so, Ku'upoi Polka.
my name. Ho'ali ali sweet, never fading flower. I bloomi ka uka o Makalapua. I ke with soft eyes as black as jet, pink cheeks so delicate of you. Oh, Kauka. Oh